So these are the components of the database environment, and these are all of the possible users, other components that interact with your database. And if you will notice here, it's only the DBMS which directly links to your database. Ibig sabihin, we will only be able to use the data from our database through DBMS. So hindi ka naman pwedeng dumiretso dun sa data. You have to use this management system to be able to access, to be able to do anything, whatever it is that you want to do with your data, you do it through our DBMS. Yung repository on the left side pertains to the repository of metadata. So lahat ng definitions of your data will be in a repository. Nandito siya. Lahat ng actual data will be in your database, and it is through the DBMS that you are able to manage both. Okay. Let's now go to definition. Let's officially define your DBMS. Can you read this, Nicole Belaño? Glyzel, Nicole, are you there?
No po. Yes po. Database Management System, ADBM. Collection of programs that enables users to create and maintain a
Okay. Can you continue reading, JP, Valentin?
A general-purpose software system that facilitates the process of defining, constructing, manipulating, and sharing databases among various users and applications.
Okay, so a DBMS is a program. It's an application program, and ito yung gawa niya. So you can create a database through a DBMS, and you can maintain that database through the DBMS. So ibig sabihin, we cannot really create anything except if we have that DBMS. So among the things that it does as part of maintenance is that it defines, it manipulates. When we say manipulate, when you do your adding records to your database or deleting or updating. And very important is that it allows sharing of databases among various users and applications. So this is a part of the component of the database environment in Explode lang kasi it's really more of applications which utilizes the data coming from the database through the DBMS. At this point, let's now take a look at traditional file processing. Ito yung mga makalumang way of processing, and just for your information lang siguro, para then to give us more appreciation of the database approach. So let's read about traditional data processing. Can you read that, Stephen Labinay?
Hello po, rinig po ba?
Opo.
Traditional file processing. File processing system stores data in separate computer files. File processing system is a system used to store and manage data that involve each department or area within an organization having its own set of files, often creating data redundancy and data isolation.
Okay, so this one is all about yung traditional file processing. Wherein, sabi nga, there is data redundancy, ulit-ulit yung data, because for each section which uses a certain file, they keep a copy of that file for themselves. And yung data isolation is more because they cannot really share data. So in this example, from Pine Valley Furniture Company, you will see 3 departments: orders, accounting, payroll department. And each department, of course, has its own processing system. And there are some files which is common to some departments. And in this case, we see the customer master file. So what they did was they created their own copy of the master file. Of course, this is something na alam niyo na very inefficient, no? And it is not something which is done today, given that we have the database approach, but it used to be na ganito nga yung ginagawa. So, and that causes data redundancy, duplication of data. Of course, data integrity may suffer because some updates which may happen to one may not be available immediately to the other, except if they do some pseudo processing probably. And of course, inefficient use of storage space. Kasi nadodoble yung, instead na nasa isang file lang siya, they create several copies. And of course, limited data sharing kasi nga hindi naman centralized yung data. There is program data dependence. Itong program data dependence, I'd like to explain by way of telling a history. So kasi ito lang yung way, I think, which best explains itong program data dependence. By the word itself, siguro maiintindihan natin na ang ibig sabihin yan, pag may binago ka sa data, you will have to change the program kasi dependent, no? Yung isa sa bawat isa. Now, yung history na sinasabi ko sa inyo is all about Y2K. Have you heard of Y2K kahit na mga bata pa kayo? Y2K. Yes, narinig niyo naman. No? But I think nobody among you was already born during this time kasi if you were mga 21 kayo ano na to, 23 years ago from year 2000. So you weren't born during this time. But during this time, during the 1990s, history talaga, it was during the time na there were so many programmers which were needed for Y2K remediation. Most of the programs used then were COBOL. COBOL ngayon ginagamit. In fact, ang sa IT, meron silang subject na COBOL. There are a lot of businesses still using COBOL, mostly mainframe environment. Most of the big banks are still using it. So ang COBOL kasi, they will have file section and then they define here yung kanilang files. For example, cost file, customer file, and then dito nila lalagay yung attribute. For example, cost ID, let's say 99, that is supposed to be numeric characters. Cost name, pick X, that's supposed to be alphanumeric, 30 characters. And dates. So for example, birth date. Then we break it down into the M, 99. And then the DD, 99. And the YY, 99. So this is how data has been defined. Data structure has been defined. It is usually in line within a program. So if there is another program which is using the customer master file, meron din siyang ganyan, exactly the same definition. Now, when Y2K was approaching, of course, they needed to remediate because all dates were defined before as just pick 96. Wala yung century portion nung year. So, syempre magkakaroon niya ng problema kasi there was of course that assumption na nung unang-una pa kasi, early years of computing, di ba? Parang sobrang tagal pa ng year 2000. In fact, when I was young, meron pang show dati na Space 1999 where it was depicted na yung mga tao, the vehicles are already flying, people are wearing yung mga parang pang nasa space ka na suits. Yung parang ang tagal pa. And that was early 70s, mga ganon. Probably early 60s din. So merong mga ganong show. Parang yung ala Star Trek. Siguro Star Trek baka naabutan nyo pa or hindi na rin. Pero at least naririnig nyo pa. So there were those. Siguro kaya during this time, parang it was really thought that the century 19 parang would never end. Kaya parang ganon. That's how dates had been defined. But come the year Y2K, they realize that will really pose a lot of problems for a lot of processing. Hindi lang business processing because there were a lot of other fields were employed, the date and time for their processing. Magkakaroon yun ng problema lahat. Kasi pagdating ng year 2000, yung century portions become 00, hindi na 19. Because it's supposed to be 20. Kaya lang, walang walang allocation inside the memory of it to be other than 19, di ba? So or either it will go back to 1900, parang ganun ang mangyayari. So that really posed a lot of problem. And ito yung ibig sabihin ng program data dependence, that when you change your data structure, not necessarily the content, of course it follows, because here we have to insert another century portion na CC probably, and that is 99. Ibig sabihin, from 9 to 6 length, magiging 8. And there are so many which will be affected by that. So a lot of analysis is needed to identify all of those which are using programs, data sets na ganito. In fact, sabi ko nga sa inyo during the time, napakarami kong kakilala na programmers na nakapag-migrate sa US because it was so easy to migrate during that time dahil nga sa dami ng need for programmers. And that is exactly what was just done. Baka sabihin, ang dali naman yan, magdadagdag lang naman ng century portion. Probably it looks easy in terms of coding, but in terms of analysis and determining the impact, kasi maraming magiging downstream yan. Di ba, babaguhin mo yung length ng dataset mo eh. And there are other attributes which might come after this. Di ba? So mababago yung itsura ng dataset mo, and all the downstreams which are using the dataset which are output of these programs using dates will be affected. So this is what we are trying to explain, which I'm trying to explain, na pag binago mo yung data mo, babaguhin mo yung program during that time. So and if I may just share, nung turn of the century noon, nung 1999, December 31, 1999, habang nagse-celebrate ng New Year, medyo kinakabahan. Siguro kami lang na programmers yung kinakabahan because others may not really be aware of the impact. But talagang there was a prayer during the time na sana po lahat will be good. Because there are other nuclear plants which are using date and time for their processing, di ba? Eh kung may magkamali doon anywhere, baka, in fact, yung iba sinasabi, baka may sumabog and all. Pero buti naman during the time, it was good. Wala namang nangyari na anything really major, and it was successful. So yun, that was how it is during the time. It was really, well, I'm sure na during the time, it was a lot of work for people. But of course, because of the database approach, some of these disadvantages have been, of course, remediated. So instead of program data dependence, meron na tayong program data independence. And at this point, siguro I'll ask a question sa inyo. What is it in the database approach, well, at least among those previous slides that we have already discussed, would contribute to program data independence? Alin dun sa mga diniscuss natin kanina probably would help a database approach so that if they change any data, hindi na ganun ka-excessive. Hindi na babaguhin yung program for that matter. So hindi na ganun ka-excessive yung changes, yung development process, yung maintenance. What was it about what we discussed earlier in the previous slides would show that a database approach would really foster program data independence, hindi na dependence. Ibig sabihin, any change in data, we don't have to update programs. Ano dun sa mga concepts that we earlier discussed would probably show how the database approach would foster this program data independence. Any guess? Guess lang? Okay lang if mali. What do you think? Any guess? Kahit na among those that we discussed earlier, ano sa tingin nyo? Probably, yes, JP.
Siguro try lang po yung data management system po.
Database management system. Yeah, that's actually the database approach. But what about it? Ano about the DBMS? What about that? Well, the environment as a whole ng database. What may be part of the entire database environment which will show this? Yes, Kim?
Sa akin po, sa advantage ng database approach, hindi na po naduduplicate yung data since medyo centralized na yung database. So, bale, hindi na sila independent na kanya-kanyang store. Tapos, madali rin po para sa mga analytics side since kayang mag-retrieve ng data or magkuha ng query ng data from the database ng mas efficient, tapos mas summarize, tapos yun nga po, mas nare-relate sa isa't isa kapag RDBMS naman. Yun lang po.
Okay, I think you mentioned yung mga advantages ng database approach, pero probably not about what I'm asking. It's
Sa program data.
Independence. So it's really those that you mentioned are actual advantages, but hindi yun yung tinatanong ko about program
Right
data
po, ma'am.
independence. But they are right. In terms of database approach advantages, any other na gustong mag-add ng what they think of? Yes, Pauline.
Try lang po. Yung sa may repository po is nakahiwalay po siya sa may database po.
Okay. And actually, that is right. That is what I was looking for. Meron kasing repository na ginagamit sa database approach. And if you will see that, nakita nyo kanina, nasa left yung repository, tapos nasa right yung database, di ba? Ano ba yung laman ng repository? We said that it contains the, ano ba yung laman ng repository? We said that it contains, in the database environment kanina na pinakita. On the left is the repository of the DBMS, on the right is the database. And the repository contains your repository.
Metadata po.
Okay, correct.
Method.
Repository, right, you're right, good. Is stored in the repository. The metadata is stored in the repository. So ang ibig sabihin nito, yung programs nyo does not already contain the definition of your data. Hindi na inline ng definition. Nakalagay na siya sa isang place lang. Nasa metadata siya na nakastore sa repository. So that anytime that you will need to change the data format, you do not have to change the program. Hindi na kasi naka-inline doon yung description. Nandun na siya sa metadata. And you will just have to change the metadata definition and not each of the so many programs which are using that file. So doon na lang yung change, doon na lang sa metadata sa repository. So it will result in increased application development and maintenance productivity and minimal data redundancy. Of course, ito iba na to dun sa program data independence. Dito sa minimal data redundancy, yung ibang sinabi nyo, like what Kim mentioned kanina, ito na yon, ito yung advantage na yon. Meron na kasi kayong isang centralized storage na nasa database and isa lang yung pinagsostoran ng data regardless kung so many applications pa yung gagamit nun. Isa lang yung kukunin nila. If there is any update, they will update there. If there is anything that they need to query from, they will query from the same file. So walang kanya-kanya. Hindi kanya-kanyang department ang version ng same file which needs to be unique. And that is the meaning of data redundancy, minimal data redundancy. So meron na kasi silang isang kopya ng data in a centralized storage which is called your database. Okay? And then improve data sharing, of course, since doon na nga sa isang file, edi i-share nyo na lang yan, di ba? So users get different views of the same data, enforcement of standards, and all data access is done in the same way. This one is related to another. Improve data quality. Wow, how is data quality improved? How is data quality improved? Data quality is improved because, sabi nga natin, may constraints agad na ina-assign pag-create pa lang ng metadata. Kasi pag nag-create kayo ng constraints doon, ito lang ang pwedeng value niyan. Hindi na siya makakapasok ng garbage, di ba? Pag-create mo pa lang ng table definition, sinasabi mo na kung ano yung pwedeng ipasok or data that should be stored in that table. So it will lead to improved data quality. There are constraints and data validation rules yung pa lang sa metadata. And of course, you can also put that in your program. And of course, better data accessibility and responsiveness. And it is done because there is a standard query language na ginagamit. And this SQL is standard, regardless kung, as long as you are using relational database, be it Postgres or IBM DB2, MySQL, SQL Server, even MS Access, Oracle even. So halos pare-pareho yung syntax ng SQL. Meron lang konting differences, pero it's very portable. Ang dali mong gamitin in another RDBMS. Okay, madaling aralin, and yung syntax could be just a little bit of difference dun sa ibang RDBMS. And then security, backup, recovery, and concurrency. Meron siya laging backup para in case anything happens, you can easily recover your data. Of course, there is that security na hindi lahat pwedeng maka-access. The DBA can set parameters as to who can just view, who can just update. So there's that security. And yung concurrency, yung ibig sabihin niya is that, remember that they are using the same file. Paano kung marami yung gustong mag-update ng same record from the same file? Eh kasi hindi na kanya-kanya, di ba? We are really sharing one file in the database. Paano yon? If there should be anything that will happen, same record will be accessed by several programs or transactions, we have what we call the concurrency control. Yung concurrency control is that which allows that one record will be locked. Na ilalak muna siya if it is due for update by one transaction or one program, para hindi muna siya ma-access ng iba, para hindi nagkakagulo. And as soon as the program, or rather that particular record has been updated by a particular program, and then saka palang i-release yung lock. And that's in essence is what we call concurrency control. Okay? So disaster recovery is easier. Okay, so guys, we will have to stop at this point.